All right, Nick, one of our favorite teams to talk about, the Miami Dolphins, a team who really seems to be making all the right moves this offseason, whether it's their new young head coach, McDaniel, or some of the additions they've brought onto this team. They're very exciting, and I'm really excited to see what they have going on. But before we get into the story we have today about what the Dolphins are doing right and kind of how they're going to be successful this season, uh, Dolphins fans, I want to know. You've had a lot of exciting additions to your team, whether it's through the draft, through trade, or through free agency. And we want to know in the comments below, what new player on this Dolphins squad are you the most excited about seeing this season? Let us know in the comments below who you are the most excited to see about this season. But Nick, let's get into the Dolphins a little bit.
Yeah, so the Dolphins obviously had a bunch of new additions, but one guy who's not a new addition but looks like a new man is Tua. And according to Brendan Tobin and Alejandro Solana, they're reporters doing at Dolphins training camp. They have a podcast. Here's what they said, reporting specifically on Tua. A lot's been made of the relationship between him and Mike McDaniel. He's definitely a guy that is carrying himself, talking about Tua here, with more bravado, more confidence that is coming from him. Definitely feels more empowered this year. Doesn't feel like he's trying to be replaced every single week. And that's a great thing to see. He definitely feels like a guy who knows that it's a big year ahead of him, but feels he has the tools and support at hand to make it happen. His co-host went on to say, Tua is less afraid to speak his mind on things as well. I guess a lot of people use the expression broken out of his shell, and I think he has. He realized he has a voice. He has a powerful voice. He's someone who can move the needle on things, and he's realizing that now. All right, Maya, so there are obviously reports last year that there are communication issues between Tua and Flores and all the drama between the two, and obviously led to Flores being dismissed, potentially among other things, from being the Dolphins head coach. What do you think of everything going on right now, specifically with McDaniel and Tua and that whole relationship?
Well, one thing I think of when I think about then and now, Flores and McDaniel, when Tua was under Flores, it was almost like, Tua's bad. Like Tua, you do this, you go sit in the corner. Tua, you're go off to the side. It was like almost like Tua was trying to please a stern father in the way
Yeah.
that he was like, either you're perfect or don't talk to me. And he's not there to try to help build Tua up. Like, he wouldn't even really probably tell him what he did wrong. He's just like, go think about what you've done. When you figure it out, come back and talk to me. And that's exact opposite of environment that I feel like McDaniel has down in Miami. He probably is like sitting down and, maybe they're dissecting some film in preseason training camp. He's like, oh, Tua, you see this route right here? We could have done this better. And Tua's probably like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like, no, you did really good, actually. I liked all of this stuff. And Tua's like, wait, what? Hold on a minute. And I think McDaniel is like the complete opposite of Flores in the fact that he, in all accounts, have stood up for Tua, both publicly, privately. He's kind of been a champion for Tua, and I think he really believes in him. And Tua's starting to believe in himself. And what more could you ask for a young guy? If you can start to believe in yourself and you have all of the athletic tools like Tua does, you have the chance to be a really special quarterback. And I think that's what McDaniel brings to the table, is that he seems to be supporting Tua more than Tua's ever been supported before.
Yeah, certainly in his short NFL career. And look, Mike McDaniel, we did a story about a week and a half ago, I think, between him and Tyreek Hill and how he was coaching Tyreek Hill and, that relationship and how Hill was buying in despite being a veteran, established all-pro already. And it definitely seems like Mike McDaniel, and you and I have talked about this a little bit with the Dolphins, is really buying in, not just into the X's and O's of the players, but the people behind the X's and O's, like there's those relationships and really focusing on building them. And I think that's a big part of it, because a guy like Tua, even if you go back to his days at Alabama, look, Nick Saban obviously is a stern coach, but he had a very strong support system around him, right? Even though Saban was stern, no one's ever come out and really felt like it was a really unstable environment. Tua was never worried about getting pulled or getting yanked from a game or getting yanked from a practice or something like that happened with Flores. And we've seen that with Patriots coaches, Patriots assistants that have gone to head coaching jobs. They've struggled with that human relationship side, managing the people. Really, a number of these guys have had who've left under the Belichick shadow. So it's not a big surprise that Tua struggled with that relationship. And I think it's a really good sign for the Dolphins that McDaniel is really putting in that time to kind of rebuild and build him up. It's almost like he was broken down and he's rebuilding him up. And the fact that he's carrying himself with bravado and confidence, that's going to trickle down to his teammates. Because a lot of these guys saw him his first 2 years in the NFL. They're like, man, this guy was beaten up by, Flores all the time. I feel bad for Tua. So instead of feeling bad for the guy, now Tua's walking around like a leader, like the alpha, like the big dog, like the guy in charge of everything. And that's going to galvanize a lot of these guys, especially when you got guys like Tyreek Hill gassing him up in the media all the time. That's just awesome. That's going to drive his confidence through the roof. And that's going to be huge for Tua because I think he has the physical tools. Just getting that confidence and support system around him will be big going into the season.
Yeah, no, I think maybe the first best thing for Tua was the McDaniel hiring. Second, definitely getting Tyreek Hill in there for confidence at least. Tyreek Hill is the biggest Tua supporter I've ever seen, and it's pretty awesome to see two guys bond like that so quickly. But one thing I'd like to point out, Nick, is what it seems like there's a paradigm shift in the NFL where offensive-minded head coaches, it seems to be the new hot thing, and it's not just hot like a trend, the new way to be very successful. Because if you think throughout history, and I say history lightly, I'm saying like the last, 5-7 years or so, you think about Super Bowl winning teams, you think about very successful teams, you think about, let's go through some people. You got offensively minded Sean Payton and, Drew Brees, Jameis Winston, whoever the quarterback of that team is going to be. You got Sean McVay, Matt Stafford. You've got Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. There's so many
Bruce Arians, Tom Brady.
Yeah, Arians, Brady. There's so many offensive coach quarterback pairings that seem to be like the future successful formula for the NFL that I see McDaniel and Tua being very similar to those formulas. And that's what this is giving me shades of or vibes of, is when you get a really good offensive-minded head coach paired with a quarterback, you're setting yourself up for major success.
All right, Nick, it's time to get your internet privacy back today on every device you own in any country you want. Don't let anyone but you control your internet. NordVPN keeps you safe from prying eyes wherever you go online with their military-grade encryption. Is your favorite Netflix or streaming content blocked in the US? You can simply connect to one of the many countries available with NordVPN and get the access you need.
That's right, Maya. So right now, get our exclusive NordVPN deal here at nordvpn.com/SMI. It's risk-free now with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, get that exclusive deal, nordvpn.com/SMI.